YouTube, my name is Mesa Sean, and welcome back to another Destiny 2 video. Alright folks, I've got a news video for you guys today, and also I've got a pretty cool Sanctified Mind Kill at the end of the video for you guys. I'm excited that I can still do the raid next season because of the pinnacle cap going up from 960 to 970. Well, it's still more of a reason to do the raid, and in my humble opinion, a Garden of Salvation is the most fun raid in Destiny 2. That's just me. I know a lot of people are not exactly happy about a power increase. I personally am. I feel like if we didn't have one, what else is there to grind for? And, well, we play this game because we like to grind things, right? Besides loot, we, well, tend to grind the power cap. And I know I do. I'm just curious as to what are they going to do with the power caps or the power levels for, like, the Master Nightfalls and the Master Nightmares and the other Shadowkeep content. Well, what's going to happen to those? Are those going to go up as well? I don't know. We'll have to see. If you enjoy this video, please hit that like button, subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and if you really want to help out the channel and further support my content, join the Mesa Army and become a channel member. All right, let's get into it. We do have some confirmation that it looks like exotic armor is inbound within Season of the Dawn. But there was a post over on Reddit that is almost up to 10,000 upvotes. And it's titled, "At the end of the day, PvP players just want a little love, not control over the franchise." Now, Dylan, one of the community managers over at Bungie, put together a pretty detailed response, which I'm going to read to you right now, and we'll discuss it. Dylan says, "Hey all, at Shadowkeep launch, we refreshed the Crucible nodes, added a solo playlist for comp, refactored glory gains, and started curating Crucible maps to pull ones that were not performing well out of rotation for some love. This was the beginning of our work on Crucible over the next year, and we are far from done." And just to chime in, if you did not know, they flew in a bunch of PvP MLG pros. That's a kind of a joke there. Some PvP Crucible pros to Bungie this week. I don't know who exactly. I know Crafty I follow. I don't follow a whole bunch. I follow one, Crafty. I know he was there, and I think a few others were there. And everyone's speculating with elimination being permanent. Well, hey, man, Trials has to be on the menu at some point this year. Anyway, let me continue reading Dylan's post. So, in Season of the Dawn, we'll be introducing Rusted Lands, that's the map from Destiny 1 that we all love, bringing elimination to a static playlist node available at all times, and doing a bit of sandbox work to refresh how Crucible gameplay feels. A few weeks back, we previewed the changes to OEM, One-Eyed Mask, and Recluse, which may shift the sandbox around a bit. I don't know, I still think Recluse is going to be just fine. Oh, and here's a preview of the new SUNBREAKER middle tree, and it looks like it's going to be epic. I'm going to be looking forward to doing some serious build guides as soon as this drops this week. Anyway, so he says, we previewed the changes to One-Eyed Mask and Recluse, which may shift the sandbox around a little bit. On top of that, we have a slew of new legendary weapons, exotic armor pieces, and subclass changes we hope will push players to new builds. So he says it right there, exotic armor pieces. And he says we have a slew of new ones. Okay, so I wonder how many. More than likely, okay, let's not go crazy. With Shadowkeep, well, we got 3 new armor pieces. I know for myself, the only real one that I'm using is the Phoenix Cradle for the bottom tree Sunbreaker. Absolutely love those. Let me know in the comment section if you've watched my Titan Ultimate Sunbreaker guide. Come on, guys. Give me a break sometimes. But yeah, that I love that build. It's so much fun, you know, because it gets boring using the same subclass over and over. So I'm looking forward to using the Middle Tree Sunbreaker. Dylan continues with, we'll also have a few maps returning to rotation with fixes to spawns and other issues, with a selection of maps being removed. We'll have some details on that in the TWAB later this afternoon, and that was the one that I read to you the other day, so check out that video. Link will be in the description. He says, as for masterwork materials, we're passing this feedback along to the team. The current source of mats, as stated in the OP, is after a full Valor refresh. This isn't comparable to other parts of the game. Gambit shares this issue to an extent, but there are fully masterworked weapons that drop from time to time that end up granting more mats than the Crucible. We have been introducing new pursuit weapons for players to earn via glory, but we hear you on the legend rewards and have been passing this feedback along as well. He continues, I understand the feedback right now in that things feel slow. We have 3 months of seasonal rotations with a few additional updates with each season, which players find to be too long for upkeep and refreshes. I'm going to chime in here again, guys. Look, this is not a DLC, guys. Season of the Dawn is what? It's a season. It's $10. Don't expect what Shadowkeep and Season of the Undying brought. Let's set our expectations, folks. It's going to be a little light, and every season is going to be a light. We're still going to be doing a lot of Shadowkeep content throughout the rest of the year. What I hope they do is maybe refresh some of the old things. Yes, you can go do the old raids and get Armor 2.0, but hey, maybe take some of those old raid weapons from the old raids. That's redundant. I'm always redundant. And bring them up and have them have those raid weapons have random rolls on them. What do you think? Dylan continues with, while we're passing this feedback along to the team, we also have to be sure to balance our resources internally and not rush to fixes and changes that may break the experience. This isn't meant to downplay your feedback in any sense. Just wanted to say that the game development takes time and that we don't want to rush things that could end up creating more issues in the wild. As we have more information on future changes for the Crucible, we'll let you know. Until then, we have people working on the Crucible internally, whether it be tweaks to modes, matchmaking, sandbox, or other. Please keep the feedback coming as we continue to collect it and help prioritize what players want to see most. Let's talk about our horrible uncle, Uncle Xur. So, in the last This Week at Bungie, they say under rewards, the exotic engram and the faded engram, which you get from Xur, have been collapsed into a single new exotic engram item. When opened, it awards a new exotic if any remain to be collected. Otherwise, it contains a random piece of exotic armor. And they say, note, contents are still class specific. So, when we all read this, well, including myself, we were all like, okay, well, Xur is finally going to sell some exotic stat rolls. Or when you grab the faded engram, you're going to get a random stat roll. Well, Dylan responded again. Dylan from Bungie responded to a post over on Reddit. And it says, Bungie, please fix Xur this season for random exotic rolls. And Dylan from Bungie responded with, Xur will not feature random rolls in Season of the Dawn. Sorry for the news, but want to set expectations now. Direct purchase exotic armor will continue to feature collection rolls. Think of this as an avenue for players who have not earned those exotics to check off the box and play around with the perk. Xur will have an updated exotic engram, so once you've collected all weapons, you'll be getting a randomly rolled exotic armor piece each week. Further random roll acquisition will continue to be available through the Nightfall ordeal. We will continue to collect feedback over Xur and exotic random rolls as it comes in. I have no doubts we'll see players getting some killer rolls from the engram next week, but others continuing their search for the perfect roll. So, good news and bad news, but I'm going to say more bad news than anything. I really think they should just make him sell random roll exotic armor. I think it would make it a little bit more interesting, but I know why, well, or at least I think I know why they're doing this, is because they want us to do the Nightfall ordeals over and over. But man, there's just too much other content to do in the game. I usually don't have time to farm the Nightfall ordeals, and I find that unless you're doing Master 980s, exotics are not dropping unless you're doing 980s. Then almost, well, every 980 I do, I pretty much will get an exotic. But, you know, look, I'm season rank 283, right? I guess, is that what the kids would call a flex? I'm 283? Anyway, and I'd say on all three characters, I've maybe have gotten, let's see, on my Titan, I've gotten two exotics with good exotic roll. I've gotten 2 exotic armor pieces with decent rolls. On my Warlock, 2, and my Hunter, 1. That's it. Everything else that I have exotic comes from my collection. And exotic armor that I've gotten dropped out in the wild, they've always either been a really poor stat roll, or they've been something that I completely not want. Come on, how many times do I have to get the Aeon Swift, the Aeon, whatever they're called, the gloves for each class that no one uses? But that's my feedback, guys, and please chime in the comment section. Hopefully, maybe Bungie will watch this video or check the comments. But what's your feedback? Do you want Xur? Look, everyone complains about Xur every single week. I read all your comments. You know that I respond to all the hashtags. Made it to the end, and no, that's not a bot. That's me. But I know we're all unhappy with Xur every week, and everyone says Xur is selling trash, and yeah. But again, he's there for the new people. He's there for the new light players. He's there for the folks who never got into Destiny 2 in year 1 or 2. Then they bought Forsaken, they bought Shadowkeep, so they can buy themselves some exotics they've never had before. But for veterans, Okay, so one time per week, we're going to get an exotic armor piece. I'm kind of cool with that. But on the flip side, it would be kind of cool because think about it. If Xur sold random rolls on exotic armor, the community would go crazy every single week if, well, not every single week, if there was one particular week where he was selling a God roll XYZ exotic armor piece. Everyone would go nuts. And I think when you have the community rallied behind something, well, it builds hype. It makes people log in. It makes people, okay, you log in and check what Xur has, and next thing you know, you're playing some Destiny 2. And remember, their goal, and I think every studio's goal, is to get us playing the game as much as possible. So we'll see what happens. In a nutshell, I'm cool with me getting an exotic roll, well, a random exotic roll armor piece each week. But I really wish he sold random rolls every single week on everything he sells. But that's not going to happen, so wishful thinking. Anyway, end of the video. I am babbling, which means I am in full babble mode. But, guys, please, please, please chime in the comment section. And, of course, I always go to the wrong relay. Mesa fail. Sound off in the comment section. What do you think of this news, and what do you think of the changes upcoming to the sandbox, Dylan's responses? And I think it's pretty cool that they've been way more transparent, and especially Dylan. I mean, kudos to Dylan. He's always been pretty forthright in terms of responding to things on Reddit and Bungie.net and just over on Twitter, just in general, sharing with us, you know, the community, with some things that don't make it to the This Week at Bungie and responding to our criticism. So that's it, guys. Do me a favor, leave me a good old hashtag made it to the end. If you did make it to the end, if you'd like to become a channel member and join the Mesa Army, click the link in the description or click join on screen. We've got an amazing Mesa Army community over on Discord, and also if you need a clan, we've got a Mesa Army clan for you guys. So that's it, guys. I see you guys in the next video.
I want it.
Don't know what?
Yeah, real.
We got shields somewhere.
I got
on left. It don't matter.
Thank you, Better. I was about to shoot it and then I had shield on me.
Okay, let's rebuild right, or break all the shields and get rid of the ads first.
Yep. Alright.
One more on right, one more on right.
Got it, got it.
Alright, y'all go left, please, so we can rebuild.
Alright, go ahead.
Let's grab those three. I'll just three right here. 1, 2, and one more here. There we
Got
go.
it.
Okay, pull.
Oh, alright. Right.
Let's go. Space.
Alright, that mid.
I know you know that.
Cyclops on right.
Yep, I got him.
Oh, got it.
Better.
Wrong one, guys. Wrong one, guys.
Wrong one again.
Here.
Sorry, over here. Sorry.
Yeah, as soon as y'all break shields. Break shields.
I always do that. I go to the wrong relay.
It's all good, it's all good.
Dude, that thing's
Yeah, we
just
got
going
you.
right through
That's
him.
what we're here for.
Every time. Alright, pull when you can.
Alright. I'll go and send you. I'll get the right Cyclops too, Banner.
Alright.
Right in front of
rebuild
us.
anything.
He took back left. We could probably.
We're able to get the DPS as well. We need it, but yeah.
Alright, ads.
I think we're fine. I think we're good.
Yeah.
Everything full? Yeah, he's stepping forward.
Clear ads.
Oop, shields on the right.
Angelic.
Yep.
Shields right.
Alright, so we're doing DPS on the left side, right?
Correct.
Correct.
Alright, get these ads down.
Yep. I'll bring them up, so we should be. Alright.
Alright, we
Grab
ready?
all the blue.
Yep.
Yeah, go.
Got bubble and everything. Bubble. Where's the
Yeah,
bubble?
it's coming.
Button.
Kill this fucker.
There you go, guys.
There we go. Good job.
First try. First try.
First try. Look at that. Dead as disco. Peace and hair grease. Nice.
Hashtag made it to the end.
Hashtag made it to his death.
Stand on the top, agent. You gotta stand right there. Yeah.